All right, let's talk about the thing that really separates good chess players from great ones: calculation. We're going to build a powerful new way to think about your moves, a mental model that's designed to take you from those painful, frustrating blunders to finding those absolutely brilliant moves you see the pros play. Let's get into it.
Man, this question, I think every single one of us has been there, right? You finish a game, you look at the analysis, and you just see it. That one move you missed, that simple little tactic that would have won you the game on the spot. So how do we fix this? Well, it all starts with building a solid base.
Look, before we can even dream about finding brilliant moves, we have to stop shooting ourselves in the foot. The very first step is to just build a position where you aren't constantly one step away from disaster.
So what's the secret? Well, according to Grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura, it's not about memorizing 1,000 opening lines. It's about these simple, timeless ideas. You want to play for open positions so your pieces have room to breathe. You absolutely have to control the center. You develop your pieces to good, active, and safe squares. And this is a big one. You keep your pieces protected. When you do this, you create a position that's just easier to play.
Here's the core idea. You can't cook a gourmet meal if your kitchen is on fire, right? It's the same thing in chess. A solid position means you're not constantly putting out fires. It minimizes the chance of a silly blunder and gives you the stability and, just as important, the time you need to spot those deeper tactical shots. It's your launch pad.
All right, so you've built your solid house. It's not on fire. Now what? Now we get to add the first real active tool to our toolbox for actually finding good moves. This is where we start calculating with a purpose.
Okay, let's talk about one of the most powerful concepts in chess: forcing moves. I mean, the board is just a dizzying mess of possibilities, right? So how do the pros handle it? They don't look at everything. They focus on moves that basically handcuff their opponent, moves that force a very specific, very predictable response. These are the forcing moves.
And here it is. This is the golden ticket. The simple, three-step checklist that you need to burn into your brain. Both Gotham Chess and Professor Chess hammer this home. In any position, before you do anything else, you run this scan. Number 1, do I have any checks? Number 2, do I have any captures? And number 3, do I have any attacks? In that order. But here's the kicker, and this is maybe the most important part. This isn't just for finding your own awesome moves. It's your number 1 defensive tool. After your opponent moves, you run the same exact checklist for them. Do they have checks? Do they have captures? Do they have attacks? Just answering that question will prevent, 90% of your blunders. Seriously.
So that checklist is your bread and butter for those quick tactical shots. But what happens when the position gets messy? When you need a real long-term plan? That's when we need to go a level deeper.
This is where we get into something Gotham Chess calls the process. And honestly, it's about becoming your own biggest critic. It's so easy to fall in love with your own ideas, right? You find a move and see all the good things about it. The process forces you to flip the script. You find an idea, and then you immediately try your absolute hardest to prove it's a bad idea. You look for your opponent's single best move, and if you find one that works, your idea is broken.
Okay, picture this. You're in a game, and you spot it. The move, the killer attack that's just beautiful. Your heart starts pounding a little faster. You're about to play it. But hold on, is it really a good idea?
And this is the battle that happens inside your head, isn't it? On one side, you've got your masterpiece, this incredible attack that feels like it's straight out of a puzzle book. But on the other side, there's the refutation, the cold, hard truth. It might be one tiny, quiet defensive move you didn't even consider, and poof, your brilliant plan just crumbles.
And this quote from Gotham Chess just nails it. In chess, there's no such thing as an almost good plan. There's no partial credit. If you find one thing, just one thing, that makes it not work, then it doesn't work, period. The whole idea is a bust. You have to let it go and find something else.
And that brings us to our final and maybe most powerful concept. This one comes from Professor Chess, and it's how you unlock those truly stunning, hidden moves that make your opponent just shake their head in disbelief.
So here's the idea. It's subtle, but it's a total game changer. You have this plan, right? You've checked it with the process, and it fails. There's a refutation. So you're ready to just throw it away. But what if the idea itself isn't wrong? What if you're just doing it in the wrong order?
So you're thinking, okay, calculation 1, I take with the knight, he takes back, then I swing my rook over, you play it out in your mind, and nope, He's got a simple defense. The whole thing just fizzles out. Bummer.
But wait, before you give up, you ask that magic question. What if I switch the order? What if, calculation 2, I attack with the rook first? That changes everything. Now his defensive move is gone. Then I capture with the knight, and suddenly it works. It's brilliant. The same moves, just flipped, and it's a completely different outcome.
Okay, let's pull all of these pieces together. We've gone from the absolute basics all the way to advanced calculation. This is your new, cohesive mental model for how to think during a chess game.
This is your path. It starts with the foundation. Create a solid position where you aren't creating your own problems. Then, you apply the checklist on every single move. Look for your forcing moves and look for your opponents. For your big ideas, you use the process. You become your own worst critic and find the refutation. And finally, for those promising but flawed ideas, remember to switch. See if a different move order makes it all click into place.
So I'll leave you with one final thought. A question that should change how you approach your very next game. Your opponent just played their move. Forget your own plan for a second. What is the very first question you're going to ask yourself now?